For microeconomics, there are two sides to dealing with small groups. There is, as in topic 3, the individual consumer. Here in topic 4, we apply a rather similar analysis as topic 3 had, except now we apply it to the individual firm. And so for the firm, the company, the idea is that they also face a problem. So while a consumer is trying to maximize their happiness, a firm is trying to maximize their profits, their production levels. And so how do they make something? Well, let's go back to the consumer. How does a consumer become happy? A consumer so their objective is being happy. How they become happy is by consuming things. For a firm, the goal is production. And related to that, profit. How do they get that? How do they get production? They get it by using two kinds of inputs. Labor, which is workers, and capital. Capital meaning machines, building, equipment. And so what a firm does in its basic essence is it combines workers with machines, buildings, equipment to make an output good. So, as we see in this chapter, the point of it is that what firms do, as we just kind of scale down here, what firms do is they take their outputs and they obviously earn revenue by charging a price that at least meets their costs. Now, what are these costs? These costs have a difference based on whether they are economic or accounting based. And for accounting purposes, we separate things out into the short term and the long term. In the short term, we have fixed costs because there are certain things that cannot be changed because it is the short term. But in the long term, everything is variable. And so, what we see is that one of the challenges of this course, of this topic, is looking at how the different curves are shaped. Let's scroll here because this had the best kind of description of it. Here we've got marginal costs, average total costs, and average variable costs, AVC. And what you'll see here is that ATC and AVC are getting closer together. And the reason why is because the difference between them is the average fixed cost. The average fixed costs are getting smaller because the denominator of that equation, the lower part of that equation, is the quantity, which is getting larger as you move from left to right. Now, the marginal cost, MC, is actually one of the more important curves because what it's describing is how much costs change when I produce one more unit. And as you can see here, the firm is becoming less cost efficient as it produces more and more of the product. Quite simply, the easiest way to understand all of these various curves is to actually draw for yourself a table. And in that table, you would just draw what the equation is. You'd write out what the equation is for that cost curve and how it's normally shaped. The only other thing I can sort of add to this is that what this chapter does is it sets up our discussion for the types of firms that exist, the number of firms that exist. Because in the following topics, we're going to start to look at perfect competition, monopolistic competition, oligopolies, and monopolies. On its very basic, simple level at the very top of the chapter, we have this structure here, this description here. The reason why that's going to become important for our later chapters is that they all use this same structure, except the price they earn is different because of the structure of the industry.